Ah, glad you could join me. Yeah, I'm on a bit of a tear lately with just how often I've been going live. I like to think that if you can't optimize just the small amount of downtime you have, then it's not worth it. But anyway, forgive me the small indulgence of just checking to see if my audio is still connected. Yeah, you can never quite tell with the platforms. So yeah, it's officially Star Wars Day. It's when we all sort of commiserate on how good and how unique Star Wars used to be. And yeah. Now it seems to not be for the original fans of the movies. Like, I don't really count myself amongst like actual Star Wars fans. Like, I like the movies just fine, but my status as a casual fan is always going to be casual. Like, I can't see myself getting into it the way some of my friends have gotten into Star Wars over the years. Like, I just can't. Like, I can't enjoy Star Wars as much as some of my mates used to. Like, I remember going over to a friend's house, and this is years ago, and actually sitting down and watching The Force Awakens, and I thought it was alright, but at the same time, I'm just like, this. I'm coming off the back of being sort of already pretty burnt by what's it called? Like the Phantom Menace and all that. Like, I wanted to like the Phantom Menace, but yeah, I just couldn't bring myself to it. Hey, how's it going? Nice to see you. Yeah, I'm properly doing Sketch Jam for a change. So the way I do these is it's just sort of very loose. Not particularly polished or structured. I realize that in many ways R2D2 is like, hey, how's it going? Good to see you. I mean, R2D2 is kind of like a Roomba in terms of droids and robots and stuff. Yeah, I'm doing alright. Hang on, let me just switch over to the multi-stream chat. There we go. That's better. Yeah. I've just recently gotten back to properly working out at the gym, and when you've neglected your self-care for a little too long, and you just think, oh man. And you think that like napping during the day is normal. But then once you actually go to the gym and you discover that you really shouldn't be napping during the day at all because you don't actually need to. Like that's the kind of like revelation I discovered. Like, I don't necessarily have to crash out on the couch or just find a nice quiet spot to have a 10-minute power nap. I can just literally just power through the day with no problem whatsoever. Well, thank you very much. My name is Ed. It's also known as the caricaturist. Not the caricaturist, the caricaturist. I travel around the world, but right now I'm just at home at the moment, just getting my stuff done. What am I drowning today? I am drawing Grogu from The Mandalorian and Grogu. And he's popping out of R2D2. Just realized how complicated the design for R2D2 actually is. See, R2D2 is very much from the era of Star Wars that I grew up with. I was born in the early 80s, so Yeah, I have fond memories of not really watching any Star Wars until I was about maybe 10. Well, thank you very much. Just realized the cables for R2D2's feet are actually in the front, not the back. Yeah. So I didn't know what Star Wars was until I was about 8 or 9 or even 10 years old. Like the last movie came out the year I was born, and yeah, my family just wasn't that much into Star Wars. I mean, to this day, they're really not. I'm doing great, actually. Yeah. Like I was saying earlier, I've recently returned to the gym, and yeah, I'm just loving the hell out of catching up on all the working out that I've been neglecting. You ever do that? You ever do like just sort of go, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have a cheat day. I'm gonna put off my workout. I'm just not gonna. And that little executive decision, if you're not careful, can turn out to be like a life ruining habit. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate that. It means a lot. Ah, cheers. Yeah, I've been doing this for a while. Sort of been working as an artist for, God, I started back in 2000 and, when did I start? Like 2002, maybe it was 2000. Yeah, 2002. So, yeah, well now. But like I'd always had like sort of a like a normal job for a while there until I was like confident enough to strike out on my own, and by confident I just mean I just had enough work to keep me going. And that's kind of what I find with doing the live streams. Hey, how's it going? Yeah. Like obviously my early stuff. Like I look back at it pretty critically. You ever look at your early stuff and just think, oh God, what was I thinking? It's a bit like that. It's like I have a similar theory about like movie stars, for instance. They'll just out of whatever reason they won't watch any of the movies they've been in. Like Johnny Depp, for instance, he just refuses to watch anything that he's done. And like I kind of understand that because first of all, you don't want to like see what you actually look like through somebody else's eyes, which is what being a movie star really is at the end of the day. But it's also like on a really sort of bigger scale. It's like um, it's like being tagged in somebody else's photo. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I like the fact that they're kind of pivoting into different Star Wars stories now. I think what's happening with Star Wars is very much like the old Star Wars is kind of falling away, and the new Star Wars is figuring out what it is supposed to be. Like for a while there was a lot of like teething problems with it, and a lot of people were finding um, Star Wars to be, not what they wanted. Like they had an expectation for what they wanted their Star Wars to be, and like a lot of like the older fans, guys that called themselves the OGs, they just hated it. They didn't accept the new changes. They didn't like any of the new characters. The storylines didn't make sense, and they just, they just weren't interested in, these weird new directions that these characters were being put in. And that's, reasonable enough. But like some sort of compromise, I think, had to be achieved along the way, and I think that's what's happened. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. That warms me heart. Hang on, I better not like smack my microphone too much. I got one of those little lapel mics, those DJI ones. I keep forgetting I've actually got it on, so I got to be careful with that. Yeah, thank you. I do appreciate that. Oh, that's good. Yeah, look, I mean, I love the fact that there's like other artists out there that are just like honestly able to just like collaborate and stuff. And I've been trying to figure out how to like really, I don't know, get the whole sketch jam thing going. And I'm just thinking like eventually, hopefully, sooner or later, um, I'll do that whole like sort of multiple, the Zoom stream thing where like there's like four or five different artists and they're all working at the same time on the same thing. Like that's eventually what I'd like to do, but at the moment it's still early days, so yeah, I'm just sort of picking away at it and seeing what I can do with it. Like it's obviously not perfect. Still a lot of work to do. Yeah, like I like how old Star Wars and new Star Wars are kind of being sort of gradually like merged but also phased out. Because the creative decisions that were made over the last, decade or so, you know, they just they just weren't like, the kind of stuff that people fans wanted to see. But interestingly enough, there was a lot of fan made movies. Like I've seen like some really good like fan made stuff. You know, there's this one that it's like that fight between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader from A New Hope, but it's like an extended scene, and it's done entirely by like a small production company. You know, it's unofficial. Like, you know, that they're saying, look, we're not here to make money off it. This is like a passion project and everything, and it's beautifully done. Like, you can tell that, you know, they used a fair amount of like superimposing and CGI and stuff. Like, the guy dressed as Obi-Wan, like the face doesn't quite fit over his normal head, and everything like that. Like, it's got Alec Guinness's like face and everything. But man, it's cool. Oh yeah, old Star Wars, like original trilogy stuff. Yeah, that's where it's at. That's the original like 1970s, like to 1980s stuff. That's honestly my jam. I prefer that. Do I have a favorite character? Look, that is a tough one. I think any character that hasn't been like retconned or recast is pretty solid in my book. But I think like obviously I like Darth Maul just because he doesn't have any lines. But I always thought like his character was a bit silly. Like, even back then, you know, like, you knew who the good guys were and the bad guys were, but you know, the the Emperor was able to hide in plain sight as, like, you know, the senator or whatever. Whereas Darth Maul just looked like an absolute demon. It's like, yeah, you're supposed to be a little bit more subtle than that. Yeah, I think Baby Yoda has been an absolute like game changer. I think the whole reason for going in the direction with the Mandalorian and stuff was to kind of take a lot of um, the emphasis off the Jedi as being like the central characters of the Star Wars universe. Oh, look, I mean, it is what it is. That's just how like content goes. Like, I enjoy it for I guess kind of the experience, I guess. Yeah, along with the fact that I could just sort of like hang out and just, you know, do what I love, and that's the whole point of Sketch Jam. It's made me look a little bit too fierce. Not loving that one. She might rework that. Oh, thank you. Look, I've only been doing this for a little while. Like, I'm pretty new to like live streaming on a regular basis. Like, I only really got into live streaming back during the pandemic. So, yeah, I. But the thing is, like, I only do it like intermittently. It's me because I travel a lot and I'm away from like my computer and everything when I'm working and stuff. It's like, you know, no prizes to guess who I'm drawing. Yeah, look, I try to get on my live stream as frequently as I can. Um, life gets in the way. You got like adult responsibilities and all that. Let me see if I can find him. What's his name? Jar Jar. Yeah, like I mean, I've been working on the iPad Pro since like I started using these back in uh, when did I use it? 2016. Yeah. So what happened was I had a like a Wacom Cintiq, which is like that those big like chunky monitor things that you draw on and you have to link up to your computer and stuff, and they're a little bit fiddly in terms of technical stuff, but they're pretty fun to use, but not particularly portable. And I bought one secondhand off eBay. This is going back, nearly 15 years. And the thing just broke. It died on me one day, and I had like a commission that I needed to get finished. And I was, rather than panicking, I did have enough money to just go out and buy a brand new iPad Pro. So that's pretty much what I did. Oh, look, I mean, the iPad Pro, like, there's like alternatives to it. Like, you don't necessarily have to get that particular model. Like, you can get what is it? The Surface, the Microsoft Surface, or what else? What are the other ones? I think Samsung does one, but what it's called is its name eludes me. I have, yes. Yes, I have heard of Ninjago. Actually, I saw some of the Ninjago sets at my local Lego store. There's a few Lego stores around Australia, and I recently, like last year, I went to the grand opening of the one in Hobart. That's pretty much the coolest thing that was happening in Tasmania at that time. It's a very small city. Yeah, I don't really build Lego these days. Just finding the time to put together a set, um, surprisingly tricky. You can sort of you can do a whole bunch of different. Yeah, just duplicate that. Oh, duplicate that again. So what you can do is you can, yeah, I'm from Sydney. Broadcasting live from sunny and beautiful. Well, it's not sunny right now because it's night time, but yeah, it's I'm from Australia. All right, wow, yeah. Look, I bought a Nintendo Switch secondhand. Like I've never like owned a brand new like Nintendo Switch ever. Like it's just not one of those things that I can see myself using all the time. Like I barely play the one that I have, but I don't want to sell it yet because that means like just restoring it to factory settings and I'm thinking maybe it's worth getting rid of at some point. I don't know. The Switch 2 does look very cool. Apparently, it's strong enough to run a very convincing version of Fallout 4. Like apparently that got ported onto it, so there's that. Tamagotchi Life. Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know what that is, but yeah, it sounds cool. Make sad Jar Jar. Oh, right. Oh, fair enough. Look, I mean, if you have a decent enough like gaming PC, I've found that it doesn't really matter because you can basically play every video game ever. No, he's a bit sad. Actually, draw some tears. It's like sad Jar Jar. And get angry Jar Jar. Yeah, so I used to work in animation, and in order to create like a model sheet for your character design, what you'd do is you'd imagine how the character would look, expressing different emotions. And Jar Jar's interesting because like his ears are like his hair as well. Oh yeah, look, that's one of the cool parts of doing this is you get to sort of flex and even draw his arms and stuff and like make him look really sad, like he's let down his friends. He's got his little vest on. He really is an early 2000s character. Like, there's no denying, what era of the Star Wars universe Jar Jar Binks exists in. Yeah, just shrink that down a bit. I can have him like really angry. You know how he was depicted as a like a Sith Lord at some point? Oh, fair enough. Yeah. So like you can have him a bit like what are they called? Frill neck lizard. Have him like a oh I know what are they Dilophosaurus. Hang on, I'm not particularly happy with that pose. So you know how Dilophosaurus in Jurassic Park has the big frill, like goes around like that. Yeah, yeah, fair enough. Look, family dynamics, that's how it is, unfortunately. Like, if some people figure out how to push your buttons or what buttons to push to get the desired reaction from you, then that's usually what they'll end up doing. It's like people, um, just creatures of habit in general. So that's unfortunately what will end up happening. And the trick is, if you can figure out how to like get back at them in whatever way that you can, even if it's just to like make enough money to get away from them, like you just do that, you know. Oh yeah, look, I mean, if you can make them mad just as much as if you can sort of like make them mad and yeah, rather than them make you mad, that's the best possible reaction. So someone said, a good way is to once they've insulted you or whatever, just ask them if they're feeling all right. But ask them in that sort of condescending way that really gets under their skin. Like, are you okay? No, are you really okay? Are you okay? Yeah. So yeah, the Dilophosaurus from Jurassic Park. Like Jar Jar Binks is kind of like a cute version of that thing. I'm just gonna duplicate these layers. Throw in Baby Yoda. Wow, we're only 45 minutes in. Jeez. I'm on fire tonight. Normally I'm like, just sort of plodding through one drawing and yeah. Hey, how's it going? So I'll just turn off these layers just real quick. Apparently, what's his name? Like, Jabba the Hutt has a So just from that shape, you already know what I've drawn. You know, like that's just Jabba. Thank you very much. And you got that little guy that sits on him. No worries. You have a good night or day or wherever you are at the moment. Yeah, Jabba's a bit sad. But you can play around with the composition a lot more. Yeah, no worries. Have a good one. And really drill down. I like the Italian hand gesture thing, thing. That's pretty cool. They have reduced Jabba down just a little bit. Kind of have him sort of reclining on one of those chairs. Really sort of like what you want to do is sort of like have his weight and you want to draw it like as quickly as you can just to sort of really get the feel of how like ridiculous this kind of character can really be. Give him like little hands, little hands, little like baby T-Rex arms. For tonight, I'm just going live for an hour, so I'll be wrapping up in about 10 minutes. So I want to make him more like a mob boss. Give him like a little... Oh, look, I mean, really depends. If I'm on a bit of a roll, like if I get into that like flow state and stuff, I can just keep cranking cranking drawings out for like, at least another 90 minutes. Have Jabba like the Godfather. Put him in a big old suit. Instead of like a hookah, he can be smoking a cigar. Smoke's fun because you can just kind of have it drifting all over the place, sort of filling the room. You don't have to be too particular when it comes to certain like environmental effects, but you don't want to be too you don't want to be like too cartoony with it, otherwise it gets distracting. Make him more like frog-like. So in Australia, we have these invasive toads called cane toads, and that's kind of what I'm basing this version of Jabba the Hutt off. Interestingly enough, like cane toads have not been in this country very long, and we're coming up on the 100-year anniversary of them being accidentally introduced. Yeah, look, giving him like a full-on cigar. Chucking some warts on him. So, like with a combination emotion, like if you want to build a character that has like sort of like sort of two different emotions on the same face, like you want him like sort of sinister and scheming on one side and kind of just disinterested and a bit out of it on the other. So you can have like this is great for characters that you can't quite get a read on. Because I mean that's kind of how Jabba is, he's just in it for the money. Like he's just, you know, he's not really interested in the politics or anything like that. He's just whatever he can get out of it. Oh God. Okay, that's that's news. I was not expecting that. I hope you're doing all right. Get that sort of blob ridge out of there because it's a little bit distracting. All right. So I kind of want to make put him on like sort of something that looks fairly recognizable in terms of furniture, but also like futuristic. Very nice. And what's his little friend's name? Hang on. What's his name? Jabba the Hutt. Friend. What's his name? If anyone knows in the comments what the little character that sits on Jabba's like tail is called, he's called something. Salacious Crumb. Which just sounds a bit like Tenacious D. Let me have a look. Salacious Crumb. Oh, come on, work. Work, dang it. Oh, man. So I made, I made Jabba look a little bit older. Maybe have some sort of smoke kind of rising out, like steam out of his mouth. Yeah, so Salacious Crumb is kind of like a chicken. It's like a sort of a cross between a chicken and a jackal. Five Nights at Freddy's. Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah, I saw the ads for that one, the commercials for that, like the trailers for that movie. Like I'm not a big jump scares fan. That is not my type of video game. Like I find being startled is not the same thing as being like genuinely terrified or like, you know, a good horror movie shouldn't rely on, you know, startling people. Actually, I might give this character a give him one of those flat brim Peaky Blinders hats. Give him some teeth as well. Oh, you didn't like the movies at all? Okay. Yeah, I think when it comes to video game adaptations into film, you either get it really, really right, or you just end up with like the Resident Evil series. There's not a lot of wiggle room when it comes to like really nailing the look and the sound and the feel of a video game and like making it into a movie. That's a task that a lot of studios take on and sometimes just never succeed. Like a great example, and I'm going back to like my youth here. The first Super Mario Brothers movie was an absolute train wreck. Yeah, another trailer I saw recently was for the what's it called? The Backrooms. Anyone seen that? All right. Yeah, like I mean, I saw that they did honor the source material at the very least and made like you know the 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 robots in it look like they do in the game. I think that's very important. I think a lot of like movie what are they called, adaptations are now being very, very serious about making stuff look like they're supposed to. Because we sort of live in an age now where um, if a movie flops and the studio can't absorb that like financial loss, then they're very much like doomed in terms of their cultural relevance and their viability as as a studio. Like a similar thing happened with Warner Brothers. Like, they were around for over 100 years. They sort of everyone thought they were, gonna really hit it big with like James Gunn and Superman and stuff, and next thing you know, it's like, well, it didn't work out. Now they've been sold to Paramount. Apparently, Netflix was showing some interest in buying them at one point, but that I don't think that ever eventuated. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, look, I don't know that actor particularly well. Like I think I don't know what he's in. I think he's in that movie about the people that get hunted. Um, what's it called? The one where there's got Katniss in it, and she's like got a bow and arrow. Help me out. What's it called again? Uh, I know what it's called, but I can't think of the name. It's got Jennifer Lawrence in it. She plays the main character. She does like tribute and stuff, and Hunger Games. Hunger Games. He's in that. Like he's one of the main actors in that, from what I can tell. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's interesting when like movie stars can do other stuff. Like I've kind of been curious about like how I was talking before about how like for instance Johnny Depp, he doesn't watch any of the movies that he's in, and he does his best to try to avoid seeing himself on screen. Oh, I'm just drawing Chewbacca at the moment. Oh yeah, no worries. Best of luck with your exam, mate. Have a good one. Hmm. Yeah, no worries. You're good. Giving Chewbacca dog teeth. Have him like holding his head out of the Millennial Falcon, like he's a Maltese cross. Just letting his mane of hair just flow in the breeze. Yeah, I miss owning a dog. These days, I don't necessarily have room to keep one, so yeah, I'm just sort of. Yeah, like I love like Chewbacca. I think is one of my favorite because like he doesn't have any lines, but Han Solo apparently knows what he's saying. Like Chewbacca was the original like I am Groot. Unless Groot was made before Chewbacca, I'm gonna have to check that actually. Let me. Who came first, Chewbacca or Groot? Okay, turns out I stand corrected. Groot was he was first conceived in 19 yeah 1960. So Groot was before Chewbacca, but Chewbacca was a movie before obviously Guardians of the Galaxy. So Chewbacca kind of wins this particular competition. I have him like the wind speed's so intense that like it's make how dogs sometimes the ones with like the really heavy jowls like when they put their head out the window like they're like their chops just go everywhere. It's like blah, blah. Like a really long tongue. Yeah, no worries. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time. We've jumped on past the hour mark. I'm gonna wrap this up pretty soon. I would like to thank everyone who joined me tonight. Had a bit of a chat, had a bit of a hangout. Really appreciate you guys. Wherever you are in the world, like, Let me know in the comments if you're watching just in Australia or if you are watching internationally. Yeah, no, not a problem at all. I'll see you in the next one. Okay, so let's move these drawings around. Yeah, it was a pretty decent session. I think we got a fair amount done. I'd like to thank everybody who joined me tonight. For the May the 4th live stream. Now, I do appreciate that May the 4th happens in Australia, or at least, the side of the world that I'm currently on, like a day before it does in like the Western Hemisphere. But don't worry, I will be back for the Revenge of the 6th. So yeah, until next time, guys, I will be seeing when I'll start again. I'll see you when I see you.